Well, darling, there's only one God. Darling, there's only.
Welcome to the Dirty Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Cookie, and I believe we are getting to the end of 2022, y'all. This is our last episode before Christmas. So I want to thank you, as always, for tuning in. You can be anywhere, but you are here listening to my loud ass. And again, subscribe to the YouTube. If you've not already, tell a friend, like, subscribe, leave a review, do what you need to do. So today, I felt the need to bring attention to a subject matter we kind of ignore a little bit because we are just so focused on the dynamics between men and women, 50-50, alpha male, high value, all of these things, but we don't spend enough time talking about the relationships between sisters, friendships, our platonic friendships, and when they take a wrong turn. Now, y'all know I am 10 toes down for sisterhood. I love black women, black girl magic, all that good stuff. We need each other. We don't survive without each other. That's my thing, and I'm going to stand on it. But I'm smart enough, I'm wise enough to know there is a flip side to this. So there was a case recently, Shanquella Robinson, beautiful girl, went on a trip to Mexico with some friends who were not her friends. We don't stop calling them friends. She went on a trip with a group of people that she clearly trusted and did not make it home. Within 24 hours, she ended up dead. So the way the story originally went is the friends called alcohol poisoning. They're partying. She had too much to drink, came home without her, brought her belongings home, returned them to her family, and this has probably been, in fact, this ain't the wildest thing because it ain't the first time it's happened. But it raises the question, what do you do when your tribe is not a safe space? Now, I've said this before. The more friends you have, the more problems you have. If you got 3 or 4 good solids in your corner, you have done well in life. But when it's a clique of y'all, you got to be mindful of the energies around you. And I know we have this thing with saying, like, anytime somebody addresses somebody as a hater, oh, girl, you ain't got no haters. That's invisible, beefs you creating in your head. Ain't nobody thinking about you like that. No, there are people out here, if we going to keep it a buck, that hang with you that don't really like you. And it's okay for us to start discussing that and looking at the warning signs. Like, that's just something that has to be done at this point. So what ends up happening after it's said that it was alcohol poisoning, of course, her parents clearly didn't feel right in the spirit. Autopsy report shows that it was from basically blood force trauma. Like, she had some shit broken. Video resurfaces surfaces of her not even fighting, really getting her ass whooped by one of the women on the trip, and one of her best friends recording, telling her to at least fight back. She is clearly intoxicated, in no position to defend herself, and it doesn't appear that she really wants to. So now there's a different conversation happening. So there's a few things going on here. Number one, the friends called the parents and basically told them that's what happened. A call came later letting the mom know that somebody whooped on her daughter. Nobody was giving the same story. So, long story short, it was some scandalous shit. Do we know the exact reason why this happened? If they set her up, if it was a jealousy issue? It was a beautiful girl. She was a beautiful girl. And it appeared she appeared to be an entrepreneur that was really in her bag and doing her thing. Like, it appeared, if you looked at her social media, that she was prospering. So again, all we know is this girl was murdered. The friends lied, came home, was in that family's face until that autopsy report revealed what really happened. All of a sudden, folks got ghosts. I don't know what type of spirit you have to be possessed with to sit in somebody's family's face, knowing what happened, lying about what happened, and coming home without her daughter. Let's just say I have alcohol poisoning. Nobody better leave without me. You better be on the plane with my body. You feel me? With my body. It is so difficult. I can understand for certain people, for women in general to make friends. And I know some folks say if you don't have any friends, something's wrong with you. I do, I do believe that. I subscribe to that. If you don't have at least one or two safe spaces, it might be you. But I understand the trust issues with building relationships with other women because you don't know who has your best interest at heart, who's using you for clout, who's trying to get next to you, who's a social climber, you just don't know. But one fact remains that sometimes people that can't stand you will stand very close to you. They will stay as close as possible to keep an eye on you or to find an opportunity to bring you down. And that's what it seems like this trip was. So we know she paid for a lot of things. Her money was stolen. There was even a video of her walking in on them talking and the energy changed. A lot of us know what we know concerning people. And what I mean by that is you know when somebody don't like you for real, for real. You can see through the sarcasm, the little jokes. People will get their shade off in the form of jokes. And there was a dialogue around people victim blaming her. I don't think anybody blamed her for her death. I certainly don't. But I think it's a wake-up call to paying attention to the people you surround yourself with. When something does not feel right here, you're not wrong. There are people who, in warning signs, somebody emulating your personality. Somebody that's entirely too invested in what you got going on. Just there's tons of different things you can check into. There are several different red flags we can say. I mean, look at Selena. She was murdered by her fan club president. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I be seeing these folks on Instagram that run these fan pages, and when they finally reveal themselves or do a post, I get creepy, obsessive vibes. Like there's a fine line between support and obsession. And I feel like when people don't get the response they want out of you, when they don't get the attention they want from you as a supporter, that can be dangerous. We don't talk enough about that, but it's a real thing. It is. Somebody that's too invested in your life. So there's extremes here. Somebody that's too invested in your life and somebody that's always got some shit to say. Always got something negative to say. Always waiting for a down moment with you. And the more I look at the situation, I wonder if, which I mean, this could be a high likelihood that they meant to beat her ass and embarrass her and expose her since things are being recorded and it just went too far. Either way, it's still trash. But I'm going to tell you what, you would have to see me about mine. At this point, the family knows it's foul play. They know what's good. And the fact that a conversation was had about them picking out funeral outfits? What? You playing in my family's face. You playing in my face. Here's what I don't like. Activist or organization in their hometown is now coming forward saying that they're going to, fight for justice. The thing I don't like about this is at this point is people trying to, I don't want to say they're getting clout, but there always has to be a hero in cases like this. I feel like the family is doing their due diligence. They don't need anybody getting in front of cameras. But we ain't got to go there today. Your friends should be a safe space for you. You should never feel like you are in competition with people that you share your most intimate moments with. Let's be honest, our close friends probably know the most about us. Half the time, they know more than your partners. They know more than your family. So to not feel safe around that particular group of people, to have that group not want the best for you or to wish harm on you, baby, that's God awful. And this is why also I want to point this out. Hats off to folks that create social groups and all of that stuff with tons of women. Y'all the real MVPs, because I don't know that I could be responsible for that many spirits and keep my sanity. Because there's always somebody, there's always people that want what you got, want to see you fail, or just they want you to not exist. Y'all, there are evil spirits in this world, and sometimes they come in the form of cis. So how do we have this conversation? Being around the right tribe should make you feel rejuvenated. You should feel safe. You should feel supported. You should feel loved. Your gut lets you know when somebody is in secret competition with you, when somebody harbors secret animosity towards you. I've had situations where I've had big moments and I've told folks about it and the conversation got real dry afterwards. Let me tell you something. If a conversation gets real dry after you're discussing plans or accomplishments, cut it off. Shut that conversation down. No. If people are always trying to put you in situations with people that you know are unsure about you, something tells me she didn't think that every single person on this trip was her friend. It's always one or two questionable ass bitches you got to look at because of the energy they're throwing your way. You feel me? Sometimes we know what we know. And I think Shanquella's case should give people permission to really read the temperature in the room. It's okay to say, who all going? I'm very much a who all going ass person. If I ask you what you invite me to, and I ask you to give me the rundown, I feel like those are people that don't rock with me or there's some weird energy, I'm saying no. And I be in these groups and I see girls saying, like, I'm trying to go to Puerto Rico. I'm trying to go here. Who all going? Me. So you mean to tell me y'all about to go out of the country with some folks you don't know like that? You don't know what the intentions are. You don't know if you're getting set up. We have to use more discernment, not only just with dating, but with our friendships. Everybody that's got a good vibe ain't your people. And I hate this for her. I swear, I hope that family gets justice. But this is also a cautionary tale. Again, there's no victim blaming here. Women are we quick to talk about haters and folks being in competition and this, that. So we know what we know, especially black women. We smart. We are intelligent people. We know when folks don't like us. But I think sometimes there's this desire to be wanted. And sometimes there's a desire to be wanted by people you know don't accept you. If it feels opportunistic, if it feels like a setup, sometimes when people invite you in certain environments, it feels like a setup. And you're probably right. Just as much as we got to watch ourselves when it comes to these men, you have to be mindful with your social circles. And that's not being negative at all. It can save your life. Because jealousy, when people can't get what they want out of you or they can't have your life, they can't be you, that rage is different. And it's real. We dealing with some real evil spirits out here and some disturbed people. We talk about mental health, but we don't want to acknowledge the fact that there are some people that are dealing with some real issues. And you don't want to get caught in the crossfires of that, especially when envy is involved. Absolutely not. Just say this. And that's another thing. When your friends, and I'm big on this, I don't care how anybody feels about it. You can call me petty. If you hanging out with some chicks that you know do not like me, don't rock with me, at some point I have to put boundaries on you. A friend of my enemy is not my friend. I'm sorry. And I know, of course, we would say, folks are grown, they can hang out with who they want to hang out with. I agree. I'm not trying to control anybody that I'm friends with or that's in my circle. But I have to watch how you move with people that feel a way about me, that are not fans of mine. Because at some point, you're going to be human, right? People going to chop it up. People going to talk. I've had friends of mine tell me shit about folks they really close to. Not necessarily a bad thing, but if you telling me all this dirt about her, sis, what you saying about me to her? Like, these are all things we have to look at. Like, are they good friends to the other friends they have? Are they confidential? Like, I'm just here for protecting yourself. I understand building new relationships. I understand networking. But I also understand bad intentions. And as much as we want to act like that's not a thing because it sounds arrogant or cocky, no. Trust your gut. I just had to get that off. I think too many of us know what we know about people, but we brush it off. We're not doing that. When you know what you know, govern yourself accordingly, even if that means missing out on a trip. Baby, have y'all ever been on a solo trip before? I spent a week in Cuba. Best week of my life. I think girl trips is drama waiting to happen. 0 out of 10. Highly don't recommend. Absolutely not. So y'all be safe out here. It's just a PSA to look after yourself. And going into 2023, if it don't feel right, it ain't right, get out of sight. Wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and when you get a free moment, remember to clean out your dirty bag. Till next time.
Well, darling, there's only one God.